Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So welcome everybody to yet another session on the Bhagavad Gita series, which started originally in Forest County. Only thing is the audience have kept changing. The speaker is not changed. And there are some devotees who are still there consistently. Very nice. So we are discussing from 16th chapter, which discusses about divine and demoniac qualities. So divine qualities ho chuke hain. We are discussing the demoniac qualities. That's what is there throughout the entire chapter. So last time we had concluded with the qualities of demoniac propensities. Now we are discussing the activities of the demoniac propensities. So today we will be discussing from shloka number 11. That is something we have to start. So you all have your apps or books, something. Phone nikaliye, mil jayega. App. I normally have an app called Gita Base. So this Gita Base app is something which gives me all scriptures. Gita, Bhagavatam, everything is there. Ready? Gita Base. BASE, yeah. Okay, so this is 16th chapter, verse number 11. Yes, can we start? Chintam aparimeyam nyecha. Try. Chintam aparimeyam cha. Pralayantam upashritaha. Kamopabhoga parama. Etavad iti nishchitaha. Yes. Kali Yuga souls. We are struggling to pronounce even Sanskrit. Happens with all of us. Even Hindi is tough these days, correct? I'm an example. I also struggle with Hindi, especially few words. Yes. So in the Vedic times, the teacher would recite once, the students would repeat 3 times, and it would be registered in permanent memory. Yes. That's why they were called as Shruti Dharas. And one of the reasons they were called Shruti Dharas is because they had no distractions. And they had pure habits, pure food, pure regulation. तो सब याद रहता था. हम लोग 10 डिजिट नंबर के लिए भी हैव टू से 1 मिनट रुकिए, किधर गया नोटबुक पेन नंबर नोट करने के नहीं रहता. पहले था. हाँ, एग्जैक्टली. It has happened to me many times with own number. Many people, चलो नंबर दीजिए अपना. वो बोलते आप अपना नंबर दीजिए, हम मिस कॉल दे देंगे, आप नंबर स्टोर कर लीजिए. So it is become very difficult. People don't even know their own number. Yes, because we stopped depending on our memory. That is why it has become difficult. Correct? We have everything. We think, yeah, हमारे पास ये है, digital notes है. So we think that we don't need our memory. Correct? So that is why this Sanskrit recitation was tough. There were 2 shlokas joined to each other. We'll recite the second one also. Asha pasha shatair baddha Kama krodha parayana Ihante kama bhogartam Anyayena artha sanchayan. Okay. So now let us go ahead with the activities. Chintam apari meyam cha. Exactly defining today's day and age. What is chintam? I don't have to say anything. It's very clear. Yes, it is worries, fears, and anxiety. In Vedic times, you will definitely find this word chinta in the dictionary. Chinta means anxieties. Yes. So work or those activities which give a lot of anxieties, they are called as chintam. They are called chintam. So demoniac people do work which involves chinta. That is where ideally, you know how work should happen. As per Shastras, the work should happen very peacefully, very calmly. All the kids, please go inside and play. Chalo, chalo. Aru, Anshu, all naughty fellows, going. Anshu, jao andar. Rabbit, hath. Yes. So chintam and aparimeya means immeasurable worries and anxieties. Hare Krishna. Does it ring a bell? It does. Nicely. वो ये हमारी बात तो नहीं कर रहे भगवान जी कृष्ण. I'll tell you something very interesting. There is animal, there is human, and there is divine. Animal, human, divine. It has been observed that more a human being goes away from God, then one becomes animalistic. And the more human being aligns with God, you become divine. So very unfortunately, today's society is very... Batao. Fill in the blanks. Why should I be the bad guy always? You fill in the blanks. Right? Yes. Unfortunately, it's becoming very animalistic. Let's just analyze this. Let's just analyze. Animal means they struggle for 4 things: eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. In charo cheezon mein kya hai? There is struggle. Let's look at eating. Does an animal have proper eating? Yes. Adit. H2. She's coming. Good. Thank you. So we find eating in animals. Yes, suppose you go to feed some group of monkeys. In Vrindavan, we do that. In Vrindavan, we go and feed some monkeys. You put one roti, what happens? 3, 4, 5 monkeys jump there. And there is a struggle, big. Each of them fighting with each other. हाँ वो तो है. चश्मा उठा लेंगे. दे चश्मा उठाने के बाद they want mango fruity, वो भी ठंडी वाली. You don't give that. नहीं हम चश्मा नहीं दे रहे. And I have seen this with my own eyes. So one Prabhu लेके गया चश्मा and he was up. He tried many things and he's holding like this and showing him. He's not, if he wants he can break it. Which means what? He has ulterior motive. वो दिखा रहा है उसको ऐसे. He's showing teeth also, E करके. Then the Prabhu said, Prabhu कोई लेके आओ. मैं इसको नजर रखता हूँ. आप कोई लेके आओ. So he gave money. He brought fruity. He just threw the fruity. Immediately chashma came down. Fruity up, chashma down. क्या बात है. Sharp monkeys. But there is struggle. You give them roti, fruity चलो. Fruity के लिए भी struggle था. 3-4 बड़े बंदर आके, it became a very bloody fight. They started scratching each other, खुजली करके, they beating, biting each other, and finally the fruity had to spill down. They were licking it. एक मजे से पी सकता था. They know how to drink. They're smart. They open like that and they drink. But very became a bloody fight. So this is what happens. Whereas human beings, there is no problem as such. Because एक बार कुछ अपने प्लेट में आ गया तो that is ours. पक्का? Yes. प्लेट में आ गया तो एक कॉन्फिडेंस है कि अभी इसको दाने दाने पे लिखा है खाने वाले का नाम, मेरा नाम. My name is there definitely. दाने दाने पे लिखा खाने वाले का नाम. I am there to eat. This is my plate. We can say animals, it's not like that. That's how humans are supposed to be. But today's modern civilization, do we struggle with eating? Too much, or we forget also? Yes. So once what happened was Albert Einstein, but बस बता रहा हूँ. Albert Einstein was walking on the road. Suddenly there was a student who came in, and they had a very tangible discussion on science. ये सब discuss करने के बाद, thank you so much, so long, very nice. So Albert Einstein, his student went ahead. He said, wait a minute, come back. Please tell me, was I going towards home to take my food? Or was had I finished my food and I'm going away? मेरे को कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. It's an actual fact that happened. So similarly, people struggle for eating also. Struggle for taking breakfast. जल्दी भागना है कंपनी के लिए. You have to run now. Work from home खत्म. everything is started back, run. And even company mein, people throw away their lunch boxes and they are struggling to just work. So this is chintam aparimeya, which even person is not able to take proper food. That means man, away from having this chinta principle, is not able to even relish the food. वो भी नहीं हो रहा है. It's very difficult. अच्छा. Connection. Yes. Hare Krishna. So eating हो गया. What about sleeping? Yes. And food also. Normally, if you see, the person is not going to get some food. मतलब actually घर, सच में बोले तो घर का खाना. That is food. But person says नहीं नहीं, हम लोग जाके किधर खाएंगे? बाहर. And what they eat? What kind of food? Junk food. Why? Because it is fast to make, fast to take, slow to digest, and next day nothing is going to come out. Don't worry. That is called junk food, which has zero value in our system, and that's what people eat. Very, very unfortunate. Yes. And then let's talk about sleeping. सोने की बात करें तो Vedic time means sleeping बहुत clear है. Even today there are villages. Even today there are villages which don't have electricity. Wow, wonderful. I've been to numerous villages. अरे क्या बढ़िया नींद आती है. You get good sleep. You get to do good sadhana. My spiritual sadhana happens very well. Health पूरा improve हो जाता है. Why? Because there is no electricity नहीं है, pollution नहीं है, gadgets नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं है. Yes. So when these all things are not there, what happens? You get very good sleep. There are some group of devotees who are inviting me to Wari. You know Wari that goes from Devu to Pandharpur. प्रभु जी या ना, खूब लोग मेरे को बोल रहे हैं प्रभु जी आप आइए. तो बोला मैं पक्का आऊंगा 3 दिन, लास्ट 3 दिन आऊंगा, फाइनल्स खेलूंगा मैं. And that finals I have decided not to take phone. Yes, I will just go with one potli having my another cloth. I will go like that. I want to experience that peace. Yes, yes. बिल्कुल फोन नहीं, लैपटॉप नहीं, कुछ नहीं. Cut off from this पुण्य नगरी पुना. Yes, आम्ही जातो आमच्या गावा. I'll go there. I'm going to try. Attempt करने वाला हूँ. Hopefully it happens. It manifests. So then that person gets very good sleep, Vedic time, because they sleep with the sun. They rise up before the sun. Perfect metabolism. सब सही जाता है. What about animals? Animals, they try to go and sleep in one place. A donkey comes and sleeps in the compound. What happens? He's beaten. He's beaten nicely with a stick. कोई भी आ जाता है, he's again beaten, he's stoned. There's no sleep, proper sleep. They don't get proper shelter or sleep. On the other hand, what has happened to modern man? I'll tell you some facts. The facts is, this is 20 years back. In America, there are places called sleeping rooms. You heard of sleeper cells, but I'm telling sleeping rooms. You know what are they? Just for going and sleeping, there are rooms. यानी कि लोग जाते हैं वहां पे क्या करते हैं? सोते हैं. Just to sleep. So there are some, they play some vibrations, some binaural beats and everything, which will calm your mind down. फिर वहां जाके उनको क्या मिलती है? Just to go and sleep there. Yes, most of the population is taking sleeping pills. सोने के लिए, नींद की गोलियां. Why? To get sleep. I said, भाई ISKCON में आ जाओ. बहुत अच्छी नींद आती है. Because what happens? In ISKCON we chant for 2 hours. Chanting में सो सकते हैं आप. We have 1 hour of श्रीमद् भागवतम क्लास. वो भी किस लिए बना है? और इतना बढ़िया प्रसाद खिलाता है, उसके बाद तो पक्का नींद तो आ ही जाएगी. तो मेरे क्लास में मैं सोने देता नहीं हूँ, बट मैं जनरली बोल रहा हूँ. जनरली कोई भक्त गणों ऐसा कोई प्रवचन हो गया तो सब लोग चलो 1 2 3 रेडी 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 चलो. बैक बेंचर्स होते किस लिए? आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑल ऑफ यू. नॉर्मली हो जाता है वो. यस, आप फ्रंट में बैठिए, आपको नहीं पता बैक में बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलते हैं. जब especially my spiritual master in Chowpatty, he said Bombay is very hot, we should have AC. We should have AC in the Bhagavatam class. And the managers were like, Maharaj, no, we'll not make that mistake. AC डालेंगे तो मस्त सोने आ जाएंगे सब लोग. Everyone's going to just sleep. Correct? So नींद चाहिए तो आइए, please come to Hare Krishna. At least ये एक चीज मिल जाएगा. That's one thing you'll definitely get. Yes, and 6 hours of good rest we get. अच्छे से नींद आती है. Yeah. Some of my batchmates, etc., who studied in college, they also, hey, you become younger than how you were. So obviously, अच्छे से नींद आती है. We get very good sleep at night. Yes, it's, and even Bhagavatam says this. Srimad Bhagavatam says sleep is a function of intelligence. There was one guy, I'd gone to Rourkela. This gentleman works in Rourkela steel plant. He after the program was over, he took me to one corner. I said, क्या हो गया? मुझे pressing question पूछना है. मैं बहुत कुछ, I try to read Bhagavad Gita, कुछ याद नहीं रहता. I try my level best to, listen to pravachans and lectures, कुछ याद नहीं रहता. बीवी बहुत कुछ बोलती है, लेके आओ ये लेके आओ, कुछ याद नहीं रहता. तो वो तीसरा वाला बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है लगता है आपको. हाँ, तीसरा वाला सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, कुछ याद नहीं रहता. What to do, Prabhuji? Then I tried to first ask. I asked a simple question first. I thought he will immediately, I'll give some tips for memory and all. I asked him simple question. What is your lifestyle? So he explained me his entire day's itinerary. And I observed this gentleman sleeps for 2.5 hours only. I said, congratulations. You are going to go crazy very soon. You sleep too much, you become lazy. You sleep too less, you become crazy. So crazy बनने के जो है 3rd degree stage पे है अभी. And that is one of the symptoms is you will not have memory. Sleep is a function. You need a proper rest. You need at least about 3 to 4 good sleep cycles of 1.5 hours in order to get good rest. वो 6 hours rest बोलते हैं उसको. Unless that happens, a lot of memory transfer सब नहीं होगा. I was able to see that person. मेरे प्रवचन में कुछ याद है क्या? बोलो नहीं, सॉरी नहीं याद कुछ. फिर आंसर में दूंगा वो याद रहेगा क्या? मतलब सोचना पड़ेगा प्रभु जी. ठीक है, आप कोई किसी और को बताओ. I'll tell someone to follow you up. But basically you have to sleep. That's a function. So modern man is deprived of sleep, and that's why people say we gotta sleep for 8 hours a day. Why 8 hours a day? Actually, Ayurveda says 6 hours. Ayuhu Veda, which is meant to increase your lifespan. That says 6 hours. आप क्यों 8 hours बोल रहे हो? Another reason is because of excessive increase in screen time. I was giving a lecture to students of MIT Harvard. I gave a 18-day Gita course there in the college. So I asked them, what is your screen time? Hey, MIT Harvard के बच्चे. Can you guess what was his screen time? वो कनव नहीं थे. They are not कनव. They are MIT Harvard के बच्चे. 10 to 12 hours was the screen time exclusively. Baap re, it's huge. It's huge ones. So utna मैं क्या shock हो गया. This is not productive, Mataji. This is unproductive screen hours. Productive नहीं है, मतलब not work related. Facebook and all other junk apps. उसको देखने का. They do that. बाप रे. So इसलिए there is deprivation. There's a lot of sleep deprivation, we call it. Deprived of sleep. फिर बुद्धि नहीं function होगा. Yes, that is the situation. So sleeping भी animalistic बन रही है उनकी, because they're going away from godly culture. Yes, that's what happens. Well, it's talking about mating. Now animals, baap re, we observe the animals, what kind of culture they have. Open. Dog, she dog, openly we can observe. There is no system of marriage. In human beings, there is a system called, 3 things are there. I'll tell you 3 words, they're different. Marriage, shadi, and vivaha. They are 3 different words. Correct. I was explaining in one of the classes. Yes. Marriage means an agreement made between 2 people that they're going to live together. That's called marriage. And that agreement can break anytime. Correct? तो agreement तो कभी भी तोड़ सकते हैं. Nothing big. Then what is shadi? Shadi means excessive enjoyment. That's why after excessive enjoyment comes talaq, talaq, talaq. But what is vivaha? Yes, vivaha means getting into a life of responsibility. So they said there is no end to this responsibility. End is last breath of one person. So there's a difference between these 3 things. Yes, marriage, shadi, and vivaha. But at least this is there. आजकल तो ये भी कैंसिल कर रहे लोग. Live in. Now this is not something which is new. It's a very old thing which is prevalent. I just come to Pune, got a job in Tata Motors as assistant manager. That was my first posting here in Pune. So I'd come. So they had sent one person to pick me up and show me. I was temporarily going to stay in some place and later on move to a location. So he'd come to pick me up and he brought me. So when I came in with my luggage, वहां से का सामने वाले जो है गेट खुलता है, the door opens and there is one by one girl ऐसे हाथ में हाथ डाल के ही करके जा रहे थे वो. यार सुधर आइए भाई सब, ये क्या है ना, ये आपको पता नहीं? नहीं नया लग रहा है कुछ. इसको लिविन बोलते हैं, लिविन. दैट इज द फर्स्ट टाइम आई गॉट. हाँ, प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण. एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ लिविंग. अरे आ गया अभी. many years back it is there before also. Yes. So that is how. Then what happens? There is nothing called responsibility. People say what is wrong, karo, no problem, you can do that. But there are a lot of problems associated with that also. Yes. So you find that is why there also in one sense they are living like Hare Krishna. Godless civilization means animal civilization हो जाता है. So this is how the human civilization. Chintam aparimeyam te. Human life is not meant for chinta. Animal life is actually chinta life. Animals will always be anxious. Have you seen a deer? A deer will sip some water and look here and there. Immediately. Why? Chinta. Because life is under threat. But this is how the animals live. Human life is meant for chintan. Human life is meant for meditation on God. जब चिंतन होता है तो चिंता नहीं होती, और जब चिंता होती है तो चिता बन जाते हैं. चिंता और चिता में सिर्फ एक बिंदु का अंतर है. That's what happens. So our situation is current चिंता. चिंता का next क्या है? चिता. So we have to convert this चिंता into चिंतन. That's what we have to work towards. So चिंताम अपरिमेयम ते. The पहला लाइन का डिस्कशन था. We have 7 more lines to go. Okay. Somehow इतना लंबा डिस्कशन मैंने कभी किया नहीं है. I'm not pulling it. मैं खींच नहीं रहा हूँ. But this is genuinely important to discuss. Because nobody is going to tell you all this. ये सत्य वचन इधर ही सुनेंगे आप. बाकी सब दुनिया जो है अच्छे से आपको पैच अप करके they will give you very nice. What is that? Smiling faces, crying hearts. Plastic smiles. Correct? वही होगा. इधर तो we'll discuss truth. Truth works. This is one thing. There's a book written by Srila Prabhupada's disciple, Sankarshan Das Adhikari Prabhu. So we write, the name of the book is Truth Works. And I also believe that. So getting inspiration from that only, we made this Seedhi Baat Prabhuji ke saath. Seedhi Baat means truth. Yes, we do that show. And truth always works. Next. Chintam aparimeyamte, immeasurable. Immeasurable chinta. And this is actually a fact. Have you studied about brainwave frequency, anybody? मुझे बहुत इंटरेस्ट था ब्रेन वेव फ्रीक्वेंसी. जैसे अपने हार्ट का जो है इलेक्ट्रोकार्डियोग्राम होता है. यस, ईसीजी. टिक 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 वो दिखाते ना मूवी में. डॉक्टर साहब क्या हो रहा है? डॉक्टर साहब सॉरी ही इज नो मोर डाल देते ना. यस, दैट इज द ईसीजी. सिमिलरली देयर इज ब्रेन वेव फ्रीक्वेंसी व्हिच इज कॉल्ड ईईजी. ईईजी. ऐसा कहा जाता है कि व्हेन अ पर्सन इज स्लीपिंग द ईईजी फ्रीक्वेंसी इज 0 to 3 हर्ट्ज. That's called the delta stage. Deep sleeps. अच्छे से सो रहा है. ये किसी का होता नहीं आजकल. जी मैंने देखा है लोगों को घोड़े बेच के सोते हुए. Yes. Anyways, that is height of tamogud. Then third 3 to 8 frequency is called the frequency of drowsiness. मतलब किसी को just उठा दिया ऐसे करके उठता है, देखता है इधर ना. That is drowsy state. 0 to 8 hertz. Okay. Then 8 to 14 hertz is called alpha frequency. अभी ये अल्फा स्टेट इज समथिंग जो आप मेडिटेशन इफेक्टिवली करते हैं, यू गेट इनटू दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टेट व्हिच इज कॉल्ड अल्फा स्टेट. एंड दिस इज अ स्टेट व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज रिलैक्स्ड अलर्ट स्टेज, इन व्हिच यू आर रिलैक्स्ड, you are alert also, you can do work also, and at the same time you're very relaxed. This is called as alpha state. Somebody is continuously calling me. Okay, I have to take this call. No, I'll delegate it, don't worry. Just 1 minute. ब्रेक मिल गया आप लोगों को. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Chalo. Whether you take the call, you delegate it. It takes time. What to? I delegate it so that we don't have chinta. We have chintan. Delegate. Yes. Anyways. Next, pralayantam upashritaha. So this person, how long the chinta remains? Pralaya antam. That means till the end of death. Pralay, yes, pralay. One of the pralay is pralay kal, matlab sab aa jata hai, inundation. But one of the pralay that we have is end of our body, this life. Pralayantam upashrita. So till that time, point of death, there is chinta available, tension. How is that? Shastras say, balavastha krida sakta. Childhood, what is the tension? How to play? Tarunavastha taruni sakta. We understood that. Tarunavastha taruni sakta. That is the chinta that one has. And vriddhavastha chinta magna. Yes. So like that, the life is full of many, many things. Yes. There is a child spills. A boy drills. Then in teens, thrills. Yes. After marriage, bills. After a long time, yes, pills. And final deathbed, wills. But what is the concomitant factor? Ills. Ill. Ill means sickness. And that ill is because of what? It is because of that chinta. That's what makes it ill. So pralayantam upashrita. Yes. Kama upabhoga parama. And why is this chinta there at all? Because kama upabhoga parama. The goal of life is how to enjoy sense gratification. How to satisfy this lust. Lust need not be gross attraction between man and woman. Lust means an adamant desire to enjoy that which is prohibited. That is called as lust. And because we want to, kama upabhoga parama means this etavad iti nishchita. The goal of life is to satisfy lust. But do you know one quality of lust? Lust never gets satisfied. How many of you observed this? कितना भी डालते रहो, satisfy नहीं होता. Any examples? Yeah, money. तो व्यक्ति बोला, प्रभु जी, I just tell you one actual example of a newcomer. प्रभु जी, देखिए प्रभु जी, बस मेरा अभी गोल है 2 करोड़ कमा दो. 2 करोड़, उसके बाद देखो ऐसे आके आपको ज्वाइन करता हूं मैं. बस मुझे बस 2 साल दीजिए, 2-3 करोड़ कमा लूंगा. अरे 2 या 3, अभी 1 बढ़ गया, देखा? 2 या 3, decide. Okay, so like that it increases. That is never saturated. Good example. Anything else? Food. Example, बता कैसे food? You keep eating, you don't get satisfaction. Yes. सही बात है. ये satisfy हो जाए, especially the fine foods. You can keep eating, but there is satisfaction is the only tongue. But अरे फिर से मतलब वो मिला नहीं. आपका कौन सा आइटम है? बताओ कौन सा काजू कतली? हाँ, कोई भी खिला दो, खाते रहोगे तुम. चलो, कनव का वीकनेस. अरे माँ, दिस इज अ वेरी सेफ मैकेनिज्म. जब खुद पे बंदूक आती है तो फिर हटा दो, चेंज द टॉपिक. मम्मा को टारगेट करो, मुझे क्यों टारगेट कर रहे हो? नाइस. कनव मुनि. यस, यू नो हु इज कनव मुनि? द फॉस्टर फादर ऑफ शकुंतला. यस, करेक्ट ना? कनव मुनि नाम रखा है तेरा, पता है मुझे. Anyway, what else? Yeah, that is also fine items, especially papads, chips. वो जाते रहेंगे. Yes. That is no satisfaction. वो एंड नहीं होने वाला, खत्म होते रहेंगे, कभी नहीं जाएगा. बिस्किट्स, दोस पार्ले जी बिस्किट्स, स्पेशली डिप करके खाने हो तो दैट विल नेवर गेट ओवर. करेक्ट, वो तो बिस्किट सब खत्म होगा, टेस्ट का ये नहीं खत्म होगा. करेक्ट, दैट इज राइट. डजंट गेट सेटिस्फाइड. करेक्ट, ट्रू, वेरी ट्रू. So we see example of that money or, oh, you were giving an example. हाँ, OTT. अरे वंडरफुल, उसको चला दो बस, इसको लगा लाला तो लाइफ जिंगा लाला. यस, लास्ट के ये फाइनल, ये और ये. फिर अरे वो क्या आ गया नया, उसका चलो उसका ट्रेलर देखते फिर डिसाइड करते. तो वो ट्रेलर देख लिया, चल अरे ये भी मस्त है, मस्ट वॉच. ठीक है, मेरा फ्रेंड कह रहा था मस्ट वॉच, चलो वो भी ऐड कर देते हैं. इन व्हाट? विश लिस्ट. अंग्रेजी में विश, लेकिन है संस्कृत का विश लिस्ट है. इट इज विश लिस्ट. विश, दैट्स व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन दिस हैडिंग. सो दैट इज अ विश लिस्ट. Hare Krishna. So kamopa bhoga parama, this never gets, kama will never get satisfied. It is very clear, very clear. So ऐसे ही होता था. So one's life goes in satisfying काम, which doesn't get, because Krishna compares kama to what? Kama rupena kaunteya dushpurena ananena cha. He compares kama to blazing fire, and he compares satisfying kama to pouring ghee. So you pour ghee in the fire, what is going to happen? Fire will again ablaze. It will ablaze more. It's never, ठीक है थोड़ा और घी डाल दे, फायर खत्म हो जाएगा. नहीं होता, घी डालते रहो, फायर बढ़ता रहेगा, डालते रहो बढ़ता रहेगा, डालते रहो बढ़ता रहेगा. It will keep increasing. It can never stop. Okay. Next sloka. Asha pasha satir baddha. Okay. Asha pash. And what drives this world? Actually, what drives this world? Everybody who asks people in this world, what is your experience? They will say, frustration. We are all frustrated. हम सब जो लोग जो है बिल्कुल खुश नहीं, बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं लग रहा. बट देन व्हाट इज देयर? दिस वर्ड somehow gives us one thing that is called as आशा. आशा पाश is hope. एक बार क्या हुआ? I'll tell you a story. Once there was a very rich zamindar. Yes, so this zamindar was scolding his. एक बार क्या हुआ? He was beating his donkey. Was beating and scolding his donkey. Donkey किसी काम का नहीं, गधा कहीं का, गधा ही है ना. Donkey मार रहा था, लात मार रहा था. He was beating him, and the donkey was getting hit, and he was crying. So दूसरा उसका donkey का friend आया. बोल भाई कैसा हाल है? बोला बहुत पिटाई करता है, लेकिन क्या करे, लाइफ चल रहा है. अरे छोड़ क्यों नहीं देता इसको? अरे नहीं छोड़ने का मन करता, क्योंकि एक बार क्या हुआ था. Once what had happened, this मालिक he told कि ये मेरी शादी उसकी बेटी से कराएगा, इसलिए मैं यहाँ रुका हूँ. So what had happened? Flashback was like this. Flashback, what had happened was that zamindar was scolding his daughter. तुमने ठीक से पढ़ाई नहीं किया तो गधे के साथ शादी करा दूंगा. तो गधे ने वो सुन लिया. गधे को लगा अच्छा, गुड प्रोस्पेक्ट्स है, आशा, अच्छी आशा है, तो रहता हूँ इधर, थोड़ा लात खा लूंगा, गाली खा लूंगा, लेकिन शादी तो इतने खूबसूरत लड़की के साथ मिलेगा. डन, आई विल स्टे हियर, let him beat me. So this is called hope, and that's how it works. How many of you seen that typical corporate picture जहाँ पे आदमी जो है, there's गधा, there's a person sitting on top, और carrot ऐसा डाला हुआ, and that गधा is moving. देखा है ये? Will that गधा ever meet the carrot? Why? Scientific नहीं है वो, ऐसा है. जो जितना आगे बढ़ेगा कैरेट भी उतना आगे बढ़ेगा. They need a babysitter. जाओ आ गया. Yes. Kanav, he wants to hear. He wants to hear class, है ना? आगे आ जाओ. You sincere students should come in the front. Yes. Good. So this is called Asha Pasha. Now, what kind of hope do we all have? अब ये गधे की कहानी हो गई, हमारी कहानी पे आते हैं. Let's come to our story. What hope we have in this world? The people sing songs. हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन, मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब. So this is what is Asha Pasha. So what is Asha Pasha for all of us? बताइए कुछ. Yeah, that does it. Let me get this object, I'll become happy. ये मिल जाएगा लाइफ में, ये कमी थी, मिलता है, मजा नहीं आया, वो मिल गया ना, I'll be happy. नहीं, वो मिल गया, I'll be happy. So this is what is called as आशा पाशा. Maya keeps showing you this. ये नहीं, ये इसको इधर इधर. Yes, never ending. That's called. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. Okay. Okay. So ये कुछ opportunity नहीं है to achieve higher, but again, it is good. It's good to be constructively engaged. It's very good to be progressive. But if that is coming at the cost of neglecting the purpose of human life, then वो क्या है? You get the point. What is the very goal of human life? अगर that is going down, मान लो कि एक बच्चा, he has gone to school. Like your kids, they go to school. And why do you send your kids to school? To get educated. So that is the goal behind entering the school. Now, instead of that, he's progressing in what? He's progressing in playing Goti with his friend. देखा, आज मैंने 3 matches जीते गोटी के. आज 4, 5. I become Goti champion. That's why you're not sent to school for becoming Goti champion. You got sent to school to become an educated person, a refined person, a very fine personality, to develop that. So the person is getting distracted because of that goal, the very goal. And he is going and doing other things. आज मैंने 5 बंदों को मार गिराया. He is coming and telling you, है ना, आज 4 लोग गए, and motivation मिलता है मेरे को, कल मैं 6 लोगों को मारूंगा, आज एक का दांत भी तोड़ दिया. Very nice. So get the point, right? First, it is very important that we understand what exactly is the goal of life, why we are in existence, and then do everything related to that. What the point? Yes, it is very good to progress. There is nothing wrong, but spiritual progress also should be there. A person for progresses only in one direction, unidirectional progress is no good. Yes. Okay. Who is burdened? Bundled. Okay. Can you elaborate? What is spiritual life is pressurizing? But if you see,
she's talking about the other way.
Okay.
Getting into the spiritual at the cost of materialistic desire is also wrong. She wants a balance.
Okay. हाँ.
There should be a very fine balance. What is the rate of
What is materialistic life? That's my definition. What's your definition of materialistic life? I'm telling people are not even able to live a materialistic life properly. Are they eating proper food? Are they breathing proper air? Nothing. Are we leading a clean life? Internally, externally? The today's society, what I explained before, is eating, sleeping, mating, defending. ये 4 चीजें, those 4 things. These are materialistic life. Is that going on properly? But that happened in the Vedic times when people followed the principles of God. You getting it? We are leading a very artificial life. Our success is phantom success. Yes, phantom success. See, I was just talking to one of my students who's in architecture and he's having expertise in materials. He was telling, "Bro, ये पूरा जो structure दिख रहा है ना, गिरने वाला है." That's fact. They're meant to fall. So this materialistic society, and very unfortunately, it is fact. It's meant to fall. Yes, it is meant to fall. That's what happens. That's the unfortunate reality. This was not the case in Vedic times. What I'm trying to say is that we should not neglect the essentials. Yeah, you can lead. So now, the previous thing what I was telling was materialistic life. Now, materialistic life or balanced life means balancing one's eating, sleeping, mating, defending, or balancing one's physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual quotients. That's called balance. Yes, physical quotient, healthy body. Intellectual quotient, you have a sound intellect. You have a peaceful mind, emotional quotient, and spiritual quotient. This is called balance. Is the society balanced? When you have this, is the physical quotient, intellectual quotient, emotional quotient, spiritual quotient balanced in a society? No, there's a total imbalance. So the way in which we are heading in this direction, is it going to meet? Is it going to give us success of balance life? Surely not. That's what I'm trying to say. No, absolutely not. Some, not all. But there is a recipe to balance. There is nothing called ideal world that Krishna himself says. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. But there are ideal principles you follow. You can be an ideal human being. And the ideal human being collectively create an ideal world. So there are ideal principles available in the Shastras. Got the point, right? So when I talk about Asha Pash, exactly a person is having high hopes. And that hopes keep pulling one. It's like a quicksand. You get into it, you cannot come out. And that is why it is very important that we pay heed to spiritual duties. What the human civilization did before is they fulfilled their spiritual needs first in the part of the day. And then you begin your material life, everything falls in place. On the other hand, you start up your material life, then you get carried away. There is no time. I'll tell you, my own example of students, they said, Prabhuji, spirituality ke liye time nahi hai. I said, just 1 week, give me a shot. Just give me 1 week time. वो 1 week में start your day with spirituality. क्या करना है बताओ? I gave them a morning program, set program. They started it. They were able to lead PIES, physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual quotient का balanced life. Because you have to begin the other way. Begin it the right way. That's why Lord Krishna says in the 8th chapter, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha. Think of me, then go to war. You go for yuddha, there is no mam anusmara. You are not going to remember me. Yes? Exactly. That's it. They will not be able to remember. On the other hand, you do the other way, it works. Now, simple science experiment. Simple. See. You have a jar, you have stones, you have pebbles, you have sands, and you have water. Right? Which one will you put first? Batai? Yeah. You didn't hear me? Okay. What did you hear? Okay. You'll have to fill up a jar. There is stones, there is pebbles, there is sand, there is water. Which one? How are you going to fill it? How are you going to fit everything into this? Yeah, good. You put the stones, then you put the bubbles, yeah, you put the sand, and then finally you put water. Then everything fits. What if you put water first? Nothing is going to fit in. So there is a way to fit in everything in the jar. Got the point? There is a way, there's a method by which you can fit everything. But you reverse the order. You put in water first, it's over, game over there. Got the point, right? That is what precisely today's materialistic society is doing. Now you get my point? Yeah. So I am not saying that, chalo, sab logon ko ye dress, balayo mein extra. Please come take this. I'm going to distribute to everyone. Follow me. I'm not here to say that. All I'm here to say is that you put in water first, then you have watered your life. बाकी पानी ही रहेगा फिर और कुछ नहीं जाएगा. Exactly. Yes. So Ashapata Shatair. Shatair means 100. So these are the things which are occupied. You've seen people who preoccupied. Yes, preoccupied with things. So the water, putting in the water is like preoccupying, and then there is no space for anything else. Shatair Baddha. And that's what happens, Baddha. Ideally, it is supposed to be like that. The spiritual material life is supposed to be well knitted. And that's what is called Varnashrama Dharma. This is there explained in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. With the materialistic life, spiritual life, ideally. Yes, ideal. So how we are here discussing how to bring about that ideal situation. It can be brought even today. I have so many students as well as friends who are in the Grahastha ashram who are living this balanced life. They do have a balance of physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual quotient. They live when you follow simple principles of Gita. On the other hand, the second line is Kama Krodha Parayana. You know what is Parayan? Babysitter. No, just set it and come. I think every 15 minutes they need. So every 15 minutes they need some sitting. मैंने cycle observe किया. Yes. So I'll just finish this sloka, then we'll take question answers. नहीं इसको अंदर भेजो. Rabbit आत्मा में जा. So society cannot be based on kama, krodha, parayana. What is this meaning of parayan? You know, parayan is person dedicated. Dedicated is called as parayana. Actually, a person is supposed to be Vasudeva Parayan, Narayan Parayan. Yes. You see, they open the scriptures. When you open the scriptures, you look at Yudhishthir Maharaj, you look at Parikshit Maharaj, you look at Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj. These are all great kings. They just did not manage their only families. They managed the entire world. But what is the basis of the management? What is the management secret? Krishna consciousness. Because they were Krishna conscious, they were sense control. Because they could control their senses, they could control everybody. Unless you have control within, you cannot control everything outside. It's not possible. That's the whole principle. Correct? If the under control nahi, bahar kuch control nahi reh sakta. It is not possible. That is the first principle that Vedas teach, is go and first get control over yourself. Uttishtata jagrata prapya varanam nibodhata. Get up and work for self-realization. Get control on yourself. That's why kisi ko bhi Vedic time mein, anyone wanting to achieve big things in life, somebody wants to be a big jnani, what he would do? Go to the forest, meditate, get control on senses. Somebody wants to become very powerful, mighty ruler, what they would go to forest, meditate, control your senses. Somebody want to become the richest and wealthiest man, go, meditate, get control. So all of them followed the first principle of controlling the mind and senses first, and then you do the other things. Now, where is a school, where is college which teaches the masters of controlling mind and senses? Yes, is there a basic subject, at least a diploma? इतना तो है क्या कम से कम? निकाल दिया, दैट इज वेस्ट सब्जेक्ट ना, उसका कोई वैल्यू नहीं, मार्क नहीं, रिपोर्ट कार्ड में 0 नहीं है, वो भी नहीं. यस, यू शुड टीच. यस. So ihante kama bhogartam anyena artha samjayan. Okay. Another thing that the society, the demoniac society, focuses upon. Now these are all nothing symptoms. Don't get offended. The symptoms of demoniac society. Yes, yes, societies of demoniac society, and unfortunately, the progress that we are calling, we are progressing towards this only. Anyena artha sanchayan. How to illegally accumulate money. This is how the demoniac people go to. It is said, the quote is, dirtier hands make cleaner money. Yes, anya yena artha sanchayan. How exactly to earn money illegally? Illegal earning of money. What is any example for this? Yes, illegally earning money.
Not illegally, but unethically. Like they are feeding stuff into people, plastic and everything they are feeding.
Yes, and they are connected to hospital. हम लोग बिगाड़ेंगे हेल्थ, आप लोग जो है और बिगाड़िए.
Even doctors, they only test the so it's not required.
Exactly. You go to hospital, you end up roaming the entire, आपको हर department से घुमा के, they'll give you a tour, hospital tour. Please go everywhere. वो उधर जाओ, वो नहीं किया, वो test नहीं किया, ये नहीं किया. Yes, it is in one sense. See, a doctor in Vedic, now even today there are Ayurvedic doctors. They don't charge a single penny for consultation. They only charge for the jadi booties. Only for that they charge. That is the science of Ayurveda. Ayurveda means their goal is they don't have any patients. The doctor comes to his place, he opens the door, there is nobody waiting out, happy. That is actually the basis of Ayurveda. You are saying something? Yeah. Under the table. भाई साहब दे दो. आपकी कमाई कितनी है? Over the table या under the table कितनी पूछ रहे हो? It's like this people want to earn. So that's what under the table कमाई. फाइल पास करानी है नीचे. Yes. So this is what demoniac society enjoys. Anyena artha sanchayan. Correct. Any questions? Yes, we can further discuss. Yes, go on. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, how do we find pi's balance? Start with S. Start your day with S, spirituality. Yes, then next is automatically when you start with spirituality, spirituality gives you E and I and P also. You start with that, automatically your E, I and S, your emotional needs, intellectual needs and your physical needs also get fulfilled. That's a fact. Yeah.
Even in order to do this balance, each kind of materialistic desire, everything is going to create karma. Anything. The mind, if you want to thought something,
Yes, yes.
it's going to create karma. Even if we do practice spirituality and try to maintain this balance, it still keep on creating karma.
Okay.
How do we going to?
Yeah.
What is the purpose? Because normally what happens with any kind of materialistic desire will not going to solve our purpose.
Yes.
So just we keep on doing this. Then again we are talking about balance.
Yeah.
Balance is all about this. I think this is about pleasing the soul. Keep doing this. Ultimately, it's going to create karma.
Okay.
Not it's a vicious circle.
Yeah. Okay. So moment you take up to Krishna consciousness path, actually what is Vedas? Vedas teach you how to work without creating karmas. Person who follows the Vedic path, the Vedas, they teach you how exactly you can do work in this world and yet not create karma. Of course, don't do this, but it's the art of catching fish without getting wet. You don't want to catch fishes, but I'm just telling you, catching a fish without getting wet. That's what Vedas teach. And what does Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam teach? Yes, now you have done work without creating karmas. Now how to go beyond this state? Toma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, back home, back to God. And Bhagavad Gita, anybody who follows the principle of Bhagavad Gita, he will never be entangled in karma, although he's working. I'll give you 5th chapter, 10th verse. You can take out 5.10. You can just read the translation. Translation. Yeah.
One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus piece leaf is untouched by water.
This is a state. Yes, it is possible. When now one component, I'll tell you. Go one component. One has to perform one's duty. अभी ये तो करेंगे हम लोग. Next, then what difficulty कहाँ आती है? Without attachment. Yes. So when does the attachment go? When you get attached to the right person. And the whole process of Bhagavad Gita, our process is not detachment. ये छोड़ो वो छोड़ो नहीं. Our process is to get attached to Krishna, to God. And when you do that, then automatically you're detached. Yeah.
We talk about love for Krishna.
Yes.
How can you fall in love purposely?
By knowing, first you love a person, you have to know about the person. Suppose one person is asked, do you love your wife? The person says yes. How does she look? I don't know. What does she like? I don't know. So when you get knowledge about Krishna, that is the first step to develop love for Krishna. That's true.
Is it possible to get back to God without loving Krishna in terms of not loving but getting out of attachment? Because love is something, again, we are talking about since.
It's okay. Loving Krishna is not, it is not material. When you talk anything where Krishna or God comes in picture, there is nothing called material associated with it. Material नाम का कुछ होता ही नहीं है. It's sanctified. Then you eat, actually you eat food, you get sins. You eat